Hello, I'm Brian Jorgensen, co-owner of JMT. Today we're going to go over a JMT DCBS 460 bandsaw. It's an 18-inch round cutting capacity. It's 18 by 24 rectangle, and on 45-degree angle it still cuts 18 around, but it goes down to 18 inches by 17 on rectangle. I'm going to go over the control first on this bandsaw. Okay, a cool feature of this bandsaw I like quite a bit. It helps us save money, and it's also it keeps our employees safe. Our downfeed pressure valve adjustment, we actually need a key in there to lock it. You can feel it locked now to adjust it. Why that's important is if our saw operator leaves for a break or to go to lunch, if that was able just to move that any time, what's going to happen is that guy comes back from lunch, he just suspects it to be the way he was when he came from lunch. He pushes go, he comes down, crashes his blade hard, takes the blade out, parts go flying all over. So it's very important, and it saves us, just a little key feature is very nice to me. Going over the control panel, some of this stuff on here doesn't currently have a switch because it's optional on the machine, and there is some on here that do have a switch that are optional. I'll go over each of those right now. This right here is showing you how it has an overhead bundle clamping. It's hydraulic. The feature is currently not on this model, but we can add it. We got a laser light, which is an option, which is added to this bandsaw. We got a chip auger, currently not on this saw. We can also add it to the bandsaw. And we also got a mist coolant system, which is on the bandsaw, which is an option. And we can add a power conveyor to this bandsaw also, which is switch, and this option's not currently on the bandsaw, but it can be added. Then we got our bandsaw start and stop. Whenever we push this, if we have our coolant on, it starts our coolant automatically and automatically starts feeding down when we push that. And we got our stop button to stop that if we want to. Over here we got our flood coolant switch. There's an option that we can get as a hydraulic blade tensioning. Our switch is to adjust our opening of our bias, which is a full stroking hydraulic. And we got our adjustment as far as our up and down to get our limit switch set for our bandsaw height setting. Okay, I'm going to start the saw to demonstrate how we set our variable frequency drive, which we have a direct drive motor to adjust our speed through an inverter drive. Push set. Now we can adjust our speed up or down. As you can kind of hear it winding down. We adjust it back up. And we just get this set to our feed pressure and to our blade speed for what material we're wanting to cut. We want to match that perfectly as we can. We got an E-stop right here. We can stop the saw at any time. Just for demonstration purposes, I moved our limit switch stop up a little higher. When I push the up button, it rapids up to the stop. The other thing we want to adjust when we're cutting is our blade guides. As you can see here, our blade guides are very robust. They're cast iron, very thick. We have a rack and pinion system to adjust. It makes it very easy and simple. They're pointed down so we don't get chips built up into here. Another cool feature of this too is the way it locks down onto here. We just simply lock this. It actually is not putting a screw direct into here. It actually just snugs against here to keep it tight. So we don't have any marring or anything like that. It'll be good for a lifetime as far as being able to move this very freely. This machine came or was ordered with a laser light. Why this is a good feature, if you're just doing like a one-off cut, I can just bring my material in, see right where I want to cut on my chalk line. Typically we got also our manual stop with the tape inlay, where we can just slide our material. We're going to do a lot of repeating cuts. I just want to show you how heavy we are right down here, and we also use carbide guides, as you can see here. We got our push and pull bolts right here to adjust these, as our carbide guides wear over time. We use roller bearings on top. Very strong and robust. This saw utilizes a flood coolant system. As you can see, we're mounted on both sides on our guide arms to hit going in and also flush the chips out to keep the chips removed, which is very important. The more we can get chips out of our way of our bandsaw blade, we're not double cutting our chips, which we don't want to do. Gives us better blade life that we can keep it cool and get chips out of our road and flushed down the chip pan. Also, we got a third coolant port for our flood coolant. Got adjustment valve down here, and we can put this anywhere we want with this flex holes to focus on whatever we want the critical point of our part to be focused on for more coolant. Right now, this right here on this bandsaw, which is an option, we have our downfeed pressure sensing valve. And why this is very important for cutting, especially materials like I-beam. When we got our thicker piece for our beam, when we're putting pressure with our bandsaw blade, it actually flexes up. That tells our downfeed pressure to slow down. And after it gets into our thinner piece of our material, it actually speeds back up. Gives us better blade life, actually gives us faster cutting speeds also for our materials. I want to go over the structure of the bandsaw. As you can see here, we use welded heavy structure frame. Also use some cast iron also on the bandsaw. It's one piece machine and stress relieved. We used chrome hardened posts, which, you know, chrome, very long, very wear resistant, longevity. And while we got this door open, I want to point out how our misting unit works. It's actually got 3 little things that spray the blade so it hits it from all angles. After it's gone through the cut, keeps the coolant on there. When it comes back through, it has that misting lubricant on the bandsaw blade when it goes through the material. This is our little mister. We got where we fill our misting lubricant. We also got where we got our adjustment as far as how much oil we want on our bandsaw blade. We also got our air pressure adjustment here. This saw utilizes a 4 horsepower motor, variable speed, uses a variable frequency drive. As you can see here, it utilizes a very heavy gearbox for heavy duty cutting. A lot of torque in this gearbox. We utilize 2 hydraulic cylinders on each side, mounted right behind our posts, to keep it where we have constant feed pressure and torque across our whole cutting surface area. This does come with a heavy duty conveyor, as you can see here. Very solid wall, you know, take a lot of weight, a lot of abuse, you know, very heavy structure. See channels welded together, steel frame. As you can see here, we have removable plates. It's actually cut and machined, so it'll actually keep in place. We actually got where it's tapped, so we can remove these, but we also can make our own little brackets if we have an odd part we want to put in here and clamp and fixturize it. We got that capability to do that, or when these get worn out or we don't like them. Another good thing I want to point out too is you can see how strong our vise is and how tall it is. And see the width of this. It's going to hold our material very straight. A big part of a saw is how good you can hold that material to get a good straight cut out of it. As you can see here, this saw has that. And this saw features where we can actually do miter cuts, but right here we unloosen the bolts, pull these pins out to get where we set angle that we want to cut with our bandsaw. This does come with an option where we can put it on a rotary table where we can miter our whole saw body instead of having to miter our material to cut. As you see here, we have a hydraulic blade tensioning. Why I like this is we actually can know what we want set our blade tensioning to be consistent. Instead of just trying to, we have different operators. One guy might be bigger than the other, may tighten it not enough. Some guys may tighten it too much and snap your blade. Another thing is right here, you can see the wire going down into here. It has a limit switch. If our blade ever does break, it shuts down our saw, so we don't have the blade that's broken, going around, circling around, beating up our bandsaw, flipping around, possibly catching somebody and hurting somebody. So it's a very good feature to have that where it shuts the saw off. And just to point out, whenever you see these arrows, it either requires grease or some type of oil, lubrication. Right here, where our door posts that are chrome hardened, there's actually oil in here that keeps these smooth, so they always are clean and operate very smoothly up and down motion. So we always want to check our oil levels with this bandsaw. This utilizes a chip pan. It's got a screen up here. Then the smaller chips shoot down into here. We just want to check that probably every day after we're doing a lot of heavy cutting. Dump it out. Keep it, so our bandsaw is always clean and running clean coolant. Today we went over the JMT DCBS 460 bandsaw, just briefly. If you have more questions, please call us, our expert salesman here at JMT. Also, we sell our other fabricating machines we'd be more than happy to help you with.